to the new moon energy in Chitra. If you're new to my channel, I am a doctor of conflict resolution. I use astrology to help people connect with conflict because you can find meaning and solutions through stories and symbols. Also, I usually do new moon and full moon readings because moon cycles really influence our energy. So, you don't have to know anything about astrology. I will walk you through everything. I'll tell you about the energies, I'll tell you about the symbols, and then relate it to your life. Where are we building a future? Where are we piecing together a broken situation? And where are we deluding ourselves that these broken situations are somehow going to turn around and actually work and turn into something? The best way to explain why we explain energy is so we know how to work with it and what to do with it. Think of all your friends. Your friends are into different things. They have different home lives, different interests, they like different music. So when one shows up, that's a very different feel than when the other shows up. They contribute to your life differently, thus you can grow with different forms of energy, but that's the same thing with nakshatras. You can grow with different forms of energy. So for Chitra, it has symbols, deities, it has energy, and then it has the way that it expresses in the world. The symbols are a gem and a pearl. The gem is multifaceted, it's brilliant, it's sparkly, and it's very valuable because of its purity. The pearl, pearls don't start out as pearls, they become valuable because they gain their beauty and their value by friction, by conflict, by rubbing up against something that's very uncomfortable for a long time, and then they're produced into something else. So we have those two elements at play here, where we think of a nice person, we think of a good person, we think of a valuable person, and socially we sort of equate that with a boring person. But that's not what this is saying. It's saying it's brilliant, you're multifaceted, there are many different angles to you, however, there's a purity to you. So no matter where you show up, no matter what crowd you're talking to, everybody will be able to recognize you because of the purity of character. You have a lot of angles, you have a lot of different things going on, you have a brilliance about you, but everybody knows it's you. And so it's the same with the pearl. You didn't start out how you were. You continue to get better. You continue to grow, and we grow through conflict. The deity that is associated with Chitra is Tvastar, who is the celestial architect who shapes and gives form to our carnation, and also Lord of the Womb, so what we birth in this life. So we're talking about form, what we bring into the world, how we are in the world. And he is also the maker of divine implements. So this has to deal with magic and illusion, thus the ability to assume whatever form we desire. Chitra rules architecture, fine art, cosmetics, fashion. It's a very sensory kind of energy. So we experience the world through our senses. This is what we look at, how we experience things, thus how we feel about things, and this is the energy of it. Design, planning, and creation. It is an active and creative energy, and it's very sensory based. Passion and energy as features of this energy make it it's really a sex-based nakshatra. So again, we're looking at what this all is about is what we give our energy to and how we go after it. So a little bit more about how this energy works. It deals with magic and weaponry, which we wonder how do those go together, like this. They both have to do with glamour. Glamour is our ability to choose one's own form. With men and weapon making, part of it was armor. And armor makes you look robotic, makes you look like you're made of steel. The helmets give an artificial appearance of being taller. So it's about making your adversary feel a certain way. It's not just the guy in there, it's not just the man who's within there, but you have this whole other thing. So you don't really know who that person is, but just the appearance is intimidating enough to give you an edge in battle. On another hand, it has to do with cosmetics and makeup. It's the same where it's technically the person, but enhanced. So what it does is it's an enhancement that makes us look larger than life, and it's useful for choosing one's own form. It gives us the ability to walk out and be something that we aren't exactly. The two best ways to describe this in physical incarnation are Kim Kardashian. Contouring became very popular with her. And then girls started to contour all over the place. So then when you see somebody, technically it's the same girl, but with the contoured makeup, she looks like a different girl. So is it exactly the same? You see the lines get blurred. Is it that? Is it not that? Another example is Sacha Baron Cohen and his parodies. So he actually shows up as a different character. Both of these, by the way, are they're Chitra natives, so they have these prominent in their astrology charts. With both of these, we're not sure where the illusion ends and the real person begins, and also they evoke a response that exposes your values. The high expression of this nakshatra is beauty and insight. The low expression is jealousy and hate. So again, let's go back to form. What this new moon is asking us to look at, what this energy is asking us to look at. We're applying these features to our relationships. Multifaceted, brilliant, what we can be, all the different angles that we have, and all the different things about us that we want to realize in this life, all of our potential, and all of the way that we're growing by the conflict. And then there comes an end to it. So think about it in terms of relationships. What once looked good to you, now you're not really sure what the reality is because the purity's gone and you don't know anymore. So if you're in a situation that started off as a different thing, that happens. The contamination, it happens gradually. The conflict happens gradually. The eroding of values and the eroding of who we are happens gradually. So something that started out a certain way when you stepped into it way back when because you thought it was the best way to go, that might not be what the situation looks like anymore. So in shaping our experiences, we need to know what is real. Where are we being deceived by the illusion, by the glamour? And this comes in people's words, this comes in their appearance, this comes in what they promise us, and how we so desperately want to believe them. So where are we being deceived, and where are we deceiving ourselves? Where is somebody intentionally manipulating us, and where are we buying into it because it's so hard to stop doing it? Because once we look at it, then we have to do something about it. So again, what this new moon energy is asking us to do is know the difference between illusion and reality. What we are seeing because it's what we want to see, what we're believing because it's what we want to believe, what we are seeing because it's real, or we're seeing it because it's what we want to see. What are we believing because it's real, or because it's what we want to believe? And also, where's that line when we've had enough? The pearl is finished. We've grown enough. Now we need to separate from this conflict if we want to be something different. And that is what the new moon in Chitra is asking you to do. It's asking you to make that distinction. Who are you, and what form is your life going to take? So in looking at that, again, we go back to who's around you, and how are they helping you get where you're going. The full moon prior to this was asking us to differentiate between our material existence and our spiritual existence. In another way, we can put that looking at what we do versus what we think we do. What kind of person do we think we are versus actually who are we? This new moon is asking us to cast a critical eye to the relationships and how we spend our time, how we engage our attention, and look at how is that contributing to who we want to be. The next full moon is going to look at, we've made that choice. So like clearing off the desk, anything that doesn't belong, anything that's not getting us toward our objective, doesn't belong there anymore. The creator's brilliance needs realness to create reality. The creator's brilliance needs realness to create reality. When you are in a situation devoid of clarity, that is not a place you can build from. We get so used to people lying to us. The media lies, political figures lie, Partners lie. Or if they don't lie, they blur reality. So we're never really sure what is. There are industries that are built around this gray area. They teach us to second guess ourselves. They groom us to stop expecting honesty from anybody. We get used to being lied to. We get used to the truth being distorted. We stop expecting anybody to be honest with us, really. Our life begins to take the form of illusion, which is not honest, which is not clear, which is nothing substantial, because you cannot build a substantial future without clarity. Nothing true or lasting can be built without clarity. Imagine illusion like a fog, and you are building your house. In a fog, you can't even see the ground, so you have to guess what the measurements are. You have to guess where the ground is. You see, it's ridiculous. It's not even possible to build. Your life is the same way. If you're not sure of what's going on around you, and the person you're dealing with, the group you're dealing with, the leader you're dealing with, intentionally obscures information so that you are constantly feeling unsure, so that you have anxiety that's just playing like background noise and sucking out your energy, that person, that group, that leader does not care about your well-being. The situation, whatever it is not something that you will be able to build anything lasting from. Whatever alliance that is, that's not someone who has your interests in mind. There's nothing solid to build from in a situation like that. This energy invites you to step away from the illusions imposed on you by others, the delusions in which you willingly, consciously, or unconsciously participate, and to look around you. Watch how you're spending your energy. Listen to the way you speak. Watch your level of optimism or nihilism. Be clear with yourself. Who is actually helping you become the best expression of yourself? And that person always has to be you. You can't count on anybody else to do that. And that is the lesson. To be clear with yourself as to what's helping you express your best life and your highest self.